All right, so I'm going to decode the Bible a little bit, and if this is going to piss anybody off, just swipe. That's okay. You can just swipe. Because the Bible and priests and pastors and all these people tell us that the Bible, and if we learn about astrology, the stars, and it's satanic and it's bad. So if you believe that, if you truly believe that, just swipe right now. But if you find that ridiculous, because we do have stained glass in cathedrals of the zodiac. Here it is, right here. So, I mean, to believe that is silly, first of all right? Because the Bible is loaded with astronomy, all right, and astrology, loaded, all right? In Job 38:31, talks about the Pleiades and Orion's belt, and it's loaded with it. The coming of the age, the changing of the age, it's loaded. We're talking about the age. What are they talking about? They're talking about the zodiac in the sky. The 12 zodiacal signs takes approximately 2,126 something years, like that, something like that, years to change in the sky. If you want to know what age it is, if you go outside during the spring equinox, which is March 21st in that area, depending on where you live, if you go outside and you watch the sun, right before the sun comes up, if you watch the east direction, you got to look in the eastern direction, in the eastern horizon, and whatever constellation you're looking at, that's what age it is. That age lasts, that'll stay that way for 2,100 and about 26 years, give or take. That's what we've figured out over, that's what everyone has figured out. Lots and lots of people have figured this out. So, you know that by looking at this right now in the sky, that we are in Pisces and almost in Aquarius. We're still at the end of Pisces, but we're almost in Aquarius. Now, what's interesting about this is in the Bible, Jesus represents Pisces, the two fish. Jesus feeds the people with the two fish and all of that. Now, Moses represented Aries. He came down the mountain. He has the ram's horn. In all of the old pictures, he has the ram's, the horns on his head. They say it's because the sun was shining through his hair, whatever. It's sun symbolism, if that's the truth. But the ram's horns is because he symbolizes Aries, the 2,000 years before Pisces, and it is, if you look on a zodiacal chart. Now, many times in the Bible, they're talking about the zodiac, the sky. Now, when Judas kisses Jesus, now it is said, a lot of people believe that he kisses Jesus to identify Jesus. For one thing, that makes no sense, all right? Everyone knew who Jesus was back then. Everyone did, all right? He was known all over the world because of what he was doing. So why on earth in a tiny little town would a man need to identify him by going up to him and kissing him? A man, too. It wouldn't happen. That's not even how they did identifications back then. So it wouldn't have happened like that. Now, in the Bible, the words that they use, it says he kissed Jesus to betray him. Why does he betray him? This is all, they are literally talking about, this is ancient stuff, okay? Back in ancient Egypt, all right, ancient stuff we're talking about. When a scorpion would bite a person, it looked like two lips. That's what a scorpion bite looked like. The scorpion sting would be two lips. The stinger came out. Now, they called it the kiss of death. The Italian mafia inherited this, and, many people know the kiss of death. I don't know if many people know where it comes from. It comes from the scorpion, the kiss of death. Now, Judas kisses Jesus. It's representing the kiss of death. Why? Why would it represent that? Why would it represent a scorpion? Why would it represent anything? Why would this have anything to do with anything? Well, that's because Scorpio is a winter constellation, and it's representing the death of winter, of Jesus, the death of the Son of God, because on December 22nd, December 23rd, and December 24th, the sun, which the ancient people, if you want to go back to ancient times, I'm talking ancient days, We're talking night and day. People, the very first men on earth were horrified of night because it was scary, it was cold, animals came out, they ate you, it was terrifying. During day, you had the sun, it brought out life. They started to learn things. They started to understand things. They started to watch and notice that the sun rose and set in a different location every day, except for December 22nd, 23rd, and 24th. On those 3 days every year, they realized that the sun stops moving, and anything that stops moving was considered dead in the ancient days. So the sun was what stopped moving, and the sun back then was worshipped because it was opposite night. The sun brought life. At night, people waited in caves until the sun came out. So it was the Son of God, evidently. And the Son of God stopped moving for 3 days. And the ancient people said the sun had died. And this is all, I mean, this dates way back. And it's all embedded in myth. It's all embedded in Greek myth and Egyptian myth. And it just goes way back, the sun dying. And on December 25th, the sun starts moving again at 1 degree every single day. And this has been happening forever. And these ideas of the Son of God dying, it's an old idea because it happens in the sky. Okay, this is called astrotheology. Now, where does this happen in the sky? This is where it gets really interesting. Because if you look up where this happens in the sky, it happens directly underneath and to the right of the Southern Cross, which is a constellation set of 4 stars that forms a cross in the sky. So, ironically, the sun dies on the right hand of the cross, the right hand of the Father. And there are Renaissance photos of Jesus with a very faded cross up to the right side of his head. And that picture, that Renaissance photo, that's what that is symbolizing. It's literally showing us the winter solstice, the sun setting on the Southern Cross, the Southern Crux, the Southern Cross. Okay, so the idea of the Son of God dying on a cross, this has been talked about forever. I mean, we have ancient deities, Vishnu, who was also on a, you get a couple stories for him, but it was either a cross or a tree he was crucified on. Then you get the Viking, the Norse god Odin, who was crucified on a tree. And this is all because of the astrotheology, because of the stars, the sky. In the Bible, again, so Scorpio, the scorpion, the kiss of death, he is kissing the sun, and then the sun dies. And this is what is happening here. Now, also in the Bible, Luke 22:10, when Jesus tells John and Peter, I believe, John and Peter, he tells John and Peter to go into town. Right? This is before the Last Supper, okay, where the 12 apostles, or the 12 zodiacal signs, where they gather for their last final dinner before the death. And he tells them to find the man with the water pitcher. Now, why is he saying this? Find the man with the water pitcher for the death of Christ. You got to understand, if you want to understand what this means, you have to understand the ancient people. And in the ancient days, men did not carry pitchers of water, okay? Men did not kiss men in the street, and men did not carry pitchers of water in the ancient days. That's just not what happened back then. I'm sorry, it isn't. So, what does that mean? Well, ironically, the sign after Pisces is Aquarius. And Aquarius, which we are heading into, I just told you, because you can tell, because you can look out at the sky on the equinox and you can see this. We're heading into Aquarius. The sign of Aquarius is a man holding a pitcher of water. So the death of Jesus would be the death of Pisces, which would be going into Aquarius. So that's what the Bible is encoding. It's the death of Aries, the death of Pisces, and the coming of Aquarius. So that's really what people need to understand, is this symbolism and all of this stuff. It dates back to ancient days. It dates back to ancient myth. And the reason why myth is relevant, you know, when I say the word myth, people laugh. Oh, you listen to myth. Oh. The reason why myth is relevant is because myth is based off of the stars in the sky and the sun. And it's crazy because if we're spinning wildly out of control, all these 1,000 miles an hour, 66,600 miles an hour around the sun and chasing the sun through the galaxy, it's weird because the stars and the signs in the sky and the sun dying every year doing that at the southern crux, this has been happening and is encoded in the Bible and is encoded on the walls of caves that are thousands of years old. This has been happening forever, as far as we can tell. So I think if we were endlessly traveling through the galaxy infinitely forever, that would never in a million years be the case, but believe what you want. But again, this is all too. This stuff is, it's in the stars. It's real. I'm not trying to piss people off, you know. Just is what it is. Like when people say, like, do you believe that you have to believe in Jesus to go to heaven? No, I don't, because I wasn't there 2,000 years ago. I can't confidently say that Jesus was around. I can't. I don't know. What I can tell you though is that there has been many saviors that have died on a cross, many saviors that have been, you know, that have many messiahs that have died and been resurrected. They've every one of them has been born of a virgin, because they're all born of Virgo, the virgin in the sky. Okay, like all these things, the Lion King, the fall of the king, all this shit, it's because of the king, the lion. When in the summertime he's upright, he's facing upright, he's the lion, he's the king. In the fall, after the summer, when the lion is the king, the fall, it's because the lion begins to fall and his head starts to tumble and he falls outward out of the sky and away from us. The Lion King is fallen. This stuff comes from the sky. All of it does. Like most of everything we've ever been told. Start to learn this stuff and you start to just be up, ding, 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 ding. It really is amazing what it does, but believe what you want. Either way, it's fine. I love you all. And of course, this is for entertainment.